called her deepness, because no woman has spent more time underwater studying marine ecosystems.
There's a symphony of life down there, but there are energy resources too, and Kerr McGee leads the way.
With new smart technology that can float in, recover resources, then sail away. Energy our country needs.
With care our oceans deserve.
Nobody rules and respects the deep water like the explorers of Kerr McGee.
Philosophy professor Valerie Tiberius. Do they call her deepness because she's profound?
Oh, God. Philosophers are supposed to be deep, but I don't think oceanographers are deep in that sense. They call her deep because she hangs out underwater, I guess. That was weird.
It should have been her royal deepness.
Yeah, I wonder if they really call her that or if they just made that up for the commercial.
It seemed the phoniest part of it.
It did seem the phoniest
Okay, what were you really
part.
going to say?
Well, I was thinking about how this commercial is trying to make us think warm, fuzzy thoughts about resource extraction, and in particular, drilling for oil, which is, I presume, what Kerr McGee does. And I think that they want to do that. They want to give us that association without bringing in any of the ugly things about that oil, the word oil, would remind us of, like oil spills and wars and, digging in Alaska and in wilderness areas. And so I think they were trying to put a good face on it and erase all that problematic stuff that has to do with oil.
Leola?
Well, I absolutely think that it's just like, the elephant in the living room. They don't say oil any place. It's just hilarious, and also predictable and very sad that they wouldn't say that at this moment. And I also wondered, who is this for? What is the target audience for this commercial?
Where do you buy their product?
I don't think you do.
Well, you do, but you're not really aware of it.
Yeah, and does that drive the reason? I mean, does the intended target audience have something to do with the reason they don't use oil?
The word oil.
The word oil,
yeah.
Right. I mean, would it evoke, gas lines or the war in Iraq? I mean, who is the target audience? I have no idea.
Dan?
Well, I'm not sure I have an answer to that question, but I do think that at the point when oil hits $80 a barrel, we're going to have very interesting TV commercials. that I'm quite certain of. What I thought was striking about the commercial was how much it was balanced, very deliberately so. I mean, she is both a man and a woman in a way. She's got a hard hat on. She's in a very male industry, but it's a woman.
Two helmets.
Okay, two helmets.
Right.
But she's communing with Mother Nature.
Right.
She's got the symphony of life. That is the little fishies underwater, but they're swimming around among the pipes, if you notice closely.
Yes, yes.
But then we're also going for resources. So we've got altruism, then we've got patriotism, and America needs this resource, not this oil, this resource. It's a very, very deliberately balanced commercial, and I don't think it really goes anywhere in particular, but it's very calculated.
It's all sorry.
Go ahead. No, I actually think it's really interesting too that this corporation wants to represent itself as hip, as feminist, as so all these
like
different
hip hop
things.
hip?
Yeah.
No,
not that hip.
not that hip.
Just a little hip.
Just hip. Just modern. Just not
with it.
Yeah, with it. Yeah, and I think that all that symphony of life crap and it's all about look at us. We're just so in touch with the environment and with women and with the spiritual side of life and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I think that it's smarmy for that reason.
Mija, the euphemisms really flew in this. I mean, there's not only resources as opposed to viscous oil, but recover. I didn't know we had them in the first place. We're recovering them?
Yeah, it's a really interesting commercial. And actually, I think that it's not even clear, because they use so much euphemistic language, what the company does initially. When I first saw this, I thought, who is Kerr McGee? Are they a marine biology research company? Mm-hmm. Why would they be advertising?
They sell goldfish.
Exactly. So what do? And so they really disguise what they're about in this commercial, with underneath all this language and all these really pretty visuals, and this expert marine biologist that they have talking about what's going on.
And I think it's partly the fact that they disguise all that stuff, plus the negative associations with oil, that makes it effective as this kind of a tool to get people to associate two images. And I find that really disturbing because I think it shapes public perception, which ends up shaping public debate about oil and oil exploration.
It's working.
And it's working, yeah. And you know, where is the other side? And do they have the money to put on a big commercial on TV that people will see that will give people a different perspective on this debate?
I thought the really interesting thing about this was the use of the pronoun our. You know, it's our energy our country needs and care our oceans deserve. Well, if we befoul the oceans, well, they were ours anyway. Time for our exit question. What else extracts resources and sails away, Dan?
The conquistadors did a pretty good job at this once upon a time.
Mija.
Mosquitoes.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Valerie.
Well, metaphorically speaking, I hope it's what my students do.
Oh, excellent. Leola.
Halliburton.
That is what a hedge fund does.